Hey, welcome to our in-depth comparison of the Hyundai IONIQ 6 and the Tesla Model S 2022. Make sure to watch until the end of the video to know my final verdict on which car is better. So the main difference between these two cars is their electric motors. The IONIQ 6 is the latest EV sedan by South Korean automaker Hyundai, while the 2022 Tesla Model S is the latest in the Tesla Model S decade-old line. We tested the Hyundai IONIQ 6, the all-wheel drive version, which draws its power from two electric motors and has a 77.4 kilowatt-hour battery, producing 320 HP and 446 pound-feet of torque. Hyundai claims this car has a 379-mile range, which we had no reason to doubt since we already knew it has a drag coefficient of 0.21, which is better than that of the IONIQ 5 that it shares a lot of the features with. What impressed me while testing it off the track was how responsive and agile the car felt, and the distinctive difference between its drive modes, which includes the Eco, Normal, and Sports modes. I also like that the car charges fast, and it's better than any other EV that we've ever tested. It took us slightly more than 15 minutes to charge from 10% to 80%. The Tesla Model S 2022, on the other hand, has the tried-and-true dual electric motors that produce 670 HP, combined with 720 pound-feet of torque. With it, we get an extraordinary performance. The long-range Tesla Model S that we tested had a claimed 412-mile range, building on the Model S's reputation for going the distance. Like in earlier tests, I thoroughly enjoyed this one, as I found driving a Model S to be the less stressful car across state lines. I don't need to worry too much about planning my recharge stops because charges go for a long time. And when I finally need to recharge, it's easy to find a Tesla charging point. The Model S has more powerful electric motors compared to the IONIQ 6, so it wins in this comparison. Performance. Officially, Hyundai states that the IONIQ 6 does 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, but we have reason to believe they're being honest. Although we could not push our tester to its limits since it was still being worked on by Hyundai, we found it to be just as powerful and significantly more aerodynamic than the larger IONIQ 5, which we know is capable of 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Because the IONIQ 6 is a lighter 4,486 pounds and feels quicker, 4 seconds is entirely plausible. We experienced seamless linear acceleration on the highway, direct and sharp steering, with the braking on our test car feeling overboosted to make it easier to stop and control the braking force. The ride in the Model S 2022 is even more thrilling. This car did 0 to 60 in slightly over 3 seconds in all of our test runs, pretty close to Tesla's stated 3.1 seconds. This car felt lighter and very responsive, despite its 4,561 pound weight. The ride was comfortable and the car handled well, with excellent body control and reliable braking of 60 to 70 miles per hour in 32 meters, which, although not record-breaking, is still very good. Since the Tesla Model S is nimbler, it makes a better machine compared to the Hyundai IONIQ 6. Interior and infotainment. Inside the IONIQ 6 feels and looks like a premium mid-size sedan. We found the build and material quality to be superb. Even the cheaper plastics have grained patterns, and the textured plastic on the console and center armrest feels like fabric. The dashboard features a 12-inch digital gauge cluster and an infotainment screen, alongside which we were relieved to see real buttons and knobs for climate control and the radio. The flat-centered console is as much a design element as it is functional. It has cup holders, a wireless charging pad, and storage space underneath, and it can be converted into a flat work surface for a laptop. This is where the front window switches are also located, freeing the door panels for floating armrests and metal speaker grills. You can keep track of your charging progress by looking at the 4-dot pixel lights on the steering wheel, a small detail that makes owning this car even more appealing. Hyundai worked hard to include multiple USB-C ports in the vehicle. We also like the front seats, which we found to be very comfortable and supportive, with the driver's seat declining to a comfortable resting position. This car has enormous legroom and headroom in the rear row, which was more than enough for my 5 feet 10-inch frame, despite its sloping roofline. There is, however, only a small FRUNK, and although the trunk opening is large, it's limited in height, so you have to place your suitcases lying flat. Two-color lighting from the door gives the car a pleasant ambiance, and the main panel is in one color and the lower pocket area in another. The first thing we noted about the 2022 Model S is its tendency towards a minimalistic interior. Although the car's interior is attractive, even with the changes made for the 200 Model S, we still found the styling to look a bit dated, especially compared to the IONIQ 6's. What's more, competitors, especially from Germany, have better built quality and lavish interiors, compared to the Model S's synthetic leather upholstery. Despite all of this, we found the seats to be very comfortable with sufficient head and leg room, ample support and cushioning, although the feet were a bit squashed in the back for taller people. The steering wheel and back seats are heated, with the front seats being ventilated, which is a nice touch. We were also impressed by the car's child safety seats, with latch connectors to the door seats and an anchor for the middle seat in the rear row. The Model S has a rear liftgate that opens to reveal a massive trunk that's larger and more accessible than most EV trunks. We were able to put 7 carry-on size cases in it with room to spare. As for where infotainment is concerned, this car comes with a 17-inch screen that manages almost all of its functions, a second gauge cluster display, and a touchpad in the rear row. Although all of this is exciting in theory, in our experience the screen's position can be a bit problematic. It requires the driver to lean in to reach some icons and to look away from the road when accessing functions that are buried under menus. The system also does not support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Although the Model S has a bigger trunk and more child safety features, the IONIQ 6 wins for having a more appealing interior and better infotainment system access and layout. Design. Unlike the IONIQ 5 and IONIQ 7, which are crossovers, the 6 is a sedan. Hyundai states that the design has its roots in the Prophecy Concept EV, which we can see in the sloping roof and the car's sportiness. It features clean, rounded lines with sweeping curves that serve a design and practical purpose, achieving an aerodynamic efficiency of 0.21 that enhances the electric driving range. The ducktail shape bolsters the downforce, while its slight boat tail structure made by the hindquarter panels is engineered to reduce drag. I was particularly fascinated by the projection-like LED headlamps, which the car automatically adjusts in real time to ensure that you can see the road without dazzling over drivers as you go. The Model S's design has always been about cloaking the powerful EV in a traditional sedan shape that customers were familiar with. In other words, making this car a sleeper. This has resulted in a timeless design that Tesla has maintained, with a few changes over the last decade. The changes we noted in the Model S include the front bumper revision to a sleeker look, an updated taillight cluster, and new headlights, including LED daylight running lights and slimmer fog lights. This Model S has little chrome and seems to have a stealth theme from the trim around the door handles, the windows, and the black wheels. This EV, with a drag coefficient of 0.28, is one of the most aerodynamically efficient cars in the industry. The IONIQ 6 is the better car when it comes to design because it has a more striking design, plus better aerodynamics compared to the Model S. So, how do the two cars compare in terms of specifications? From the table, it's evident that the Tesla Model S 2022 is the bigger, more powerful, and faster car. The cars, however, weigh almost the same, and both engines are driven by dual electric motors. Similarities between the Hyundai IONIQ 6 and the Tesla Model S 2022. Both are fully electric vehicles, each having 2 motors. They're both 5-passenger sedans, and both vehicles are eco-friendly, with 0 carbon emissions out of their exhausts, despite having massive engine power. Things you should know before purchasing the Hyundai IONIQ 6. Before buying a Hyundai IONIQ 6, you should know that this car is a new entrant in the EV market, built on the experience Hyundai has gained from the popular IONIQ 5, including retaining some of its predecessor's technical and interior features, which is a good thing. However, this also means there's little information about the kinds of challenges you're likely to encounter with this car. It's expected to be available at a relatively lower price point, and because of this, you shouldn't expect lavish materials inside. It's meant for cruising, and we found it to have a very limited off-roading capability. It can go fast and far between charges, but no one's quite sure of its economy in real-world situations. What we liked: interior design that's well thought out and comfortable, long range, advanced technology. What we didn't like: tiny frunk and short trunk. Things you should know before purchasing the Tesla Model S 2022. The Tesla Model S 2022 is made to deliver range and speed, for which you pay a premium price. Before getting one, you should know that the cabin is less luxurious, especially for its price point. Note that passengers seated in the back don't have enough storage space, and it can be a bit uncomfortable there for taller people. We found accessing the information on the infotainment screen to be distracting due to the layers of menus. We were okay using the yoke steering on long, fast stretches, but it felt unnatural around slow, tight corner streets. Also note that you'll not get Android Auto smartphone integration or Apple CarPlay, which may hinder you from enjoying playlists from your phone using the car's amazing sound system. What we liked: it has a high electric car range, powerful and fast. The extensive Tesla supercharger network. What we didn't like: the standard yoke steering. Verdict: so which is better, the Hyundai IONIQ 6 or the Tesla Model S 2022? The Tesla Model S 2022 is the winner in this comparison. It's faster and more powerful, with a slightly longer range and an established charging network, all the things an electric vehicle of its size should have. The Hyundai IONIQ 6, though more comfortable and less expensive, doesn't match up to the Model S. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And let us know what you'd like to hear from us next.